It's 10 p.m. in Lagos, Nigeria, 9 p.m. in London, 4 p.m. in New York, and 5 a.m. in Beijing. This is TVC News at 10. I am Ikechukwu Obienu. The headlines. INEC declares Governor Chukwuma Soludo winner of the November 8th Anambra State governorship election. NDLEA arrests wanted drug lord Yusuf Aziz on his way to Saudi Arabia for Umrah. Raids his clandestine colors lab in Lagos State. Typhoon makes landfall in Philippines as nearly 1 million people are evacuated. In our Sunday specials, we take a look at the ugly trend of stripping girls of their clothing and options available to victims. Thanks for staying with us. We begin in Anambra, where Governor Chukwuma Soludo has secured a second term in office until 2030 after Independent National Electoral Commission declared winner of the Anambra State governorship election. According to the results announced by INEC this morning, Mr. Soludo won by a landslide in the 21 local government areas of Southeast State. The state returning officer and vice chancellor of the University of Benin, Omorige Edoba, declared Soludo as the winner of the exercise after the collation of results from the local government areas of the state where the election was held. Governor Soludo, the candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, polled 422,664 votes to Trump's his closest rival, Nicholas Ikechukwu of the All Progressives Congress, who polled 99,445 votes.
I, Professor Edoba Bright Omorige, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin, hereby certify that I am the returning officer for the 2025 Anambra State governorship election held on the 8th day of November 2025. I also certify that the election was contested and that the winner emerged. The candidate with the highest number of votes cast and percentage have all been computed. I therefore declare that Soludo Charles Chukwuma of the APGA, I will satisfy the requirement of the law and score the highest number of votes in this election, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected.
Meanwhile, after the result was declared, Governor Chukwuma Soludo pledged to redouble his administration's efforts in consolidating the achievements recorded so far in the past 3.5 years. TVC News senior reporter Bamidele Ajayi tells us more.
INEC declared Governor Chukwuma Soludo as winner of Anambra State governorship election, having polled the highest number of lawful votes cast, a feat the governor considered as a task for greater responsibility. INEC delivered Governor Chukwuma Soludo as winner of Anambra State governorship election, having polled the highest number of lawful votes cast. The governor acknowledged efforts made by individuals, groups, communities, and traders to ensure his re-election is actualized.
This election and this victory is not just victory, it is history made. We applied for this job. You employed us 4 years ago. and was won in probably three and a half years ago. And all I can say to you, like we said throughout the campaign, is that you haven't said anything yet.
He thanked President Bola Tinubu for being a true Democrat and Independent National Electoral Commission for their professional conduct.
The President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, for being a very true Democrat. I appreciate that, and I can say, may this be a foretaste of better things to happen, to continue to happen in our electoral system.
A state that people will return to and have fun and do business.
Supporters are here from across the states to celebrate with the governors over his victory at the election. And according to them, it is a task of confirmation and to consolidate its achievement in the past 2.5 years to deliver the Anambra of their dream.
On this part, candidate of the All Progressive Congress declined to comment on the election outcome, hinted that he's still consulting his supporters before his next action will be made public.
Anambra State, non-incumbent person, from whatever they've allotted to me or whatever that actually my people have voted for, have 99 something thousand votes. It's unprecedented. So those, whatever decision I'm going to take will affect those 90 something thousand people.
Soludo pulled a total of 422,664 votes to defeat his closest rival, the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Nicholas Ikechukwu, who scored 99,445 votes and 14 others. From the result announced, Soludo of Abga won in all the 21 local government areas of the state in a landslide victory. Bamidele Ajayi. TVC News in Sofia.
And reactions have continued to trail the declaration of Professor Ikechukwu Obienu as the winner of the governorship election in Anambra State. Labour Party candidate in Anambra, George Mohalo, has rejected the poll results, declaring Professor Charles Soludo as winner. He addressed a cross-section of journalists at his Nnewi residence. Mr. Mohalo described the election as a scam, alleging widespread vote buying, intimidation, as well as underage voting. He claimed the results were predetermined before voting began and said the party would soon announce its next steps.
For now, we can boldly say that the elections was not credible, were not free and fair. There was massive cases of vote buying across the entire state. In some instances, result sheets were not seen and voting was going on.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Sly Ezeokenwa, has described the result as a victory for the people of the state. President Bola Tinubu.
It's an overwhelming feeling of excitement and gratitude to Ndi Anambra for this, what I may call the highest level of trust that anybody can repose in an administration.
And President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Professor Ikechukwu Obienu on his re-election as the governor of Anambra State. The president also congratulated the people of Anambra, their security agencies, and the Independent National Electoral Commission on the peaceful and successful conduct of the governorship election. The president says Professor Soludo's re-election is a testament to his visionary leadership and the significant progress that the state has made under his guidance. President Tinubu urged Governor Soludo to be magnanimous in victory and to seek the cooperation of his opponents in the just concluded elections. In the same vein, the governor of Ogun State, chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, Dakwa Biodo, has congratulated the governor of Anambra State, Ikechukwu Obienu, on his re-election. In a statement issued by his special advisor on media and strategy, Kayode Akemade, Governor Biodo said that the outcome of the election clearly demonstrated the confidence the people of Anambra repose in Soludo's leadership. He congratulated Soludo, who also serves as vice chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, urging him to sustain his policy direction and continue delivering development-driven governance. He further encouraged Soludo to unify political interests across the state for inclusive growth. Our Director General Ikechukwu Obienu Campaign Organization, Dozier Ikedife, joins me live now on the news at 10 to bring all of this to bird's eye view. Very pleased to have you with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, the candidate of the party, that's the APC, Nicholas Ikechukwu, says that the party is still studying the outcome of the election. Has anything come out of the study yet?
Well, it's still early to say that because we have to go through a lot of reports on our table. We have to review a lot of things and then meet with the critical stakeholders and meet with the party. We have the campaign organization on one side, and then we have the party on the other side. So I believe that very soon we'll take a decision and make it public.
Well, as you may have also heard, the president himself, that's the leader of the party, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course, Chairman Southern Governors Forum, Governor Abiodun, they have congratulated the Professor Soludo on his emergence as the governor of Anambra in the just concluded elections. What is your position on that? Do you think that there will be any need, to proceed with any further action in challenging the outcome of the election, since the leaders of the party are already aligning with the results?
Well, I understand the president's position, which is quite good, but you have to understand that in democracy, the election starts with the primaries elections, and governorship elections most times end up at the Supreme Court. And if by God's grace, our findings will align with the position of the president, then so be it. But we respect the position of the president of Nigeria, and the leader of our party. But we also have a job to do to review things and also bring to the party, like I said, bring to the party which the president belongs to, and of course also bring to the president the report of our findings. And I am optimistic that if we have convincing and overwhelming evidence on approaching the court, that the president will also support us, because that's part of democracy.
All right. That's a good place to leave the conversation. Director General Ikechukwu Obienu Campaign Organization, Dozier Ikedife, thank you very kindly indeed for talking to us this evening.
Thank you very much.
Coming up on TVC News at 10. The Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, in collaboration with the Governor of Kogi State, inaugurate 80 revitalized primary healthcare facilities. That's after the break. You're watching TVC News at 10. Here's a reminder of our top stories. INEC declares Governor Chukwuma Soludo winner of Anambra 8 governorship election. NDLEA arrests wanted drug lord Yusuf Aziz on his way to Saudi Arabia for Umrah. Raids his clandestine Colos lab in Lagos State. Typhoon Wang makes landfall in Philippines as nearly 1 million people are evacuated. At our Sunday special, we take a look at the ugly trend of stripping girls of their clothing and options available to victims. Now, operatives of the Special Operations Unit of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a Saudi-bound wanted drug lord at his clandestine Colos lab in Lagos State. We have details in the following report.
A wanted drug lord has been arrested by operatives of the Special Operations Unit of the NDLEA at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos State. He was arrested while on his way to Saudi Arabia after months of intelligence and surveillance on him and his criminal drug activities. Similarly, NDLEA operatives in conjunction with men of Customs Service and other security agencies discovered 105.5 kilogram molly and 500 grams of methamphetamine during a joint examination of a shipment. In Niger State, NDLEA operatives intercepted a 35-year-old man while conveying 87,000 pills of tramadol and 72 kilograms of skunk, a strain of cannabis. Not less than 34,520 capsules of tramadol were found concealed in different compartments of a car. In Kogi State, NDLEA operatives on patrol along Okene-Lokoja Highway intercepted a consignment of 7.600 kilogram loud. A follow-up operation in Abuja led to the arrest of a 40-year-old man, while no fewer than 175,000 pills of opioids were recovered from another consignment at the location on the same day. While commending the officers and men of SOP, DFCM, Tinkan, Edo, Taraba, Kaduna, Kogi, Niger, and Bayelsa commands for the various successful operations, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, urged the NDLEA officers and their colleagues across the country to continue with the ongoing balanced approach to the drug control efforts of the agency.
Into security issues now, the past commander, the Nigerian Army Corps of Signals, Major General Nosakari Ugbo, has called on officers still in service to know what their loyalty lies totally and undoubtedly to the Nigerian state. He stated this at the pulling out parade in Lagos. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano tells us more about it.
The parade ground of the Nigerian Army School of Signals wore a colorful ceremonial look. Friends, family and acquaintances came to honor the reviewing officer, a man said to have made remarkable transformation at the Corps since his assumption of office on 5th February 2025. The 39th Commander Corps of Signals is bowing out after an active service to his fatherland. He may have completed his assignment in uniform, but he knew what is expected of those still in service.
As I leave active military service and turn a new page in my life, I urge all serving personnel to uphold the tenets of military professionalism. For you signalers, you must continue to stay focused in your drive towards creativity, innovation, and application of technology in enhancing operational capability and capacities of the Nigerian military and indeed the whole country.
Also, he knew that the success of his successor lies in the full cooperation of the officers and men of the Corps.
I also urge you to support and cooperate with the Commander Corps of Signals, Major General Mohammed Abdullahi, as he takes the Corps of Signals to the next level of greatness. You must all remember, in the Corps of Signals, we do not believe in impossibility when it comes to developing solutions in the field of telecommunication and ICT.
As he bows out, he said he was confident that his successor, Major General Muhammadu Abdullahi, will take the Corps to even greater heights. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
And now to the health sector. The Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Muyi Aino, in collaboration with the Governor of Kogi State, have commissioned 80 revitalized primary healthcare facilities and handed over essential medical equipment and commodities to the Kogi State government in order to enhance healthcare delivery. The inauguration ceremony held at the Government House, Lokoja, was attended by Governor Usman Ododo, senior government officials and development partners. The revitalized facilities upgraded under the World Bank-supported NPACT project in partnership with the NPHCDA are aimed at expanding access to quality, affordable as well as reliable primary healthcare services across the state. This handover underscores the federal government's commitment to strengthening state healthcare systems and improving health outcomes for citizens. The Executive Director, accompanied by Governor Ododo, also commissioned and inspected the newly completed Model Primary Healthcare Center at Old Market Road, Lokoja, describing it as a standard for patient-centered quality healthcare delivery. The day's activities continued with a visit to the Federal Teaching Hospital, Lokoja, where Dr. Aino handed over comprehensive emergency obstetric and newborn care equipment for the delivery room, among others.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, as many of you know, works with states to develop primary healthcare services and infrastructure and systems. So what that means is that we don't run the facilities, we don't own the facilities. You do at the state level and at the local government level. You own the staff, but we support you. So all of the things that we bring is a support, supplemental to what you are doing at this level. You continue to show up for the health of Kogites, and I dare say we have never had it this good, Your Excellency. You are an embodiment of a real translation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision of high quality, equitable access to primary health care that people can trust, and in a way that is not damaging to them financially. I also see, and we are all aware of the efforts you have also made to increase insurance coverage in the states to provide financial protection for the vulnerable. Thank you, Your Excellency.
If I have seen somebody who is committed, who is passionate, who is showing sincere love for his people, one of them is Dr. Muyi Aino. I want to appreciate our father, Mr. President, for identifying you, for his own eagle eye. Out of 5 million or 5 million Kogans, he spotted you and you are doing well.
In a statement, a significant move to rebuild trust with international investors, the Nigerian government has announced the establishment of a new communication channel aimed at addressing concerns arising from the demolition of the Winhomes estate in Okwaja. The development was disclosed during a World Press Conference led by the CEO of Winhomes Global Services Limited, Stella Okengwu. The press conference, facilitated by the Coalition of Civil Society of Nigeria, marked a historic step in Nigeria's approach to resolving issues related to foreign direct investment, especially those impacted by recent infrastructure projects. The initiative comes after the demolition of $250 million Winhomes Estates project last October.
Let me begin by commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Honorable Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, for showing courage and statesmanship by listening to the cry for justice and opening the door for peaceful engagement.
They've called, they want to dialogue, they want to talk. We hope fully that this will be resolved only by encouraging the president of our dear country, Nigeria, to kindly compensate every single person whose investment has been affected.
The recent decision by the federal government to engage directly with affected diaspora investors is both commendable and strategic. It reflects a shift, one that places diplomacy, dialogue, and dignity at the center of governance.
And away from that, now a political group, the Grassroots Initiative Concept, has accused the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and his deputy Barau Jubrin of allegedly sabotaging the confirmation of Abdullahi Ramat as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. The allegation was made by convener of the group, Alwan Hassan, during a press conference in Kano. He alleged that some parliamentarians are frustrating the reform efforts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by prioritizing personal interests and using pressure tactics that undermine governance and public trust. In a swift reaction, convener of all Tinubu Barau support groups in Kano, Hafizu Leman, at a separate joint press conference dismissed the claims as baseless, mischievous, and without substance.
In recent months, a disturbing trend has emerged in our polity. Some parliamentarians appear increasingly determined to act as obstacles to the reform agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, seeking instead to impose their personal interest on critical national appointments. This conduct undermines governance, erodes public trust, and sabotage our national development.
As Nigerians, we are all aware that in line with our country's constitution, it is the prerogative of the president to appoint whoever he wants to hold any public office in the country, including that of NERC.
This is TVC News at 10. We're signing you out over Entertainment Channel, but you can continue to watch us on all our other platforms. We'll be back after the break. Do stay with us. More stories now. A Nigerian lawyer, Olafunke Adeoye, has emerged as the outstanding young lawyer at an award ceremony organized by the Section on Public and Professional Interest, Human Rights Law Committee, Pro Bono Committee, and Young Lawyers Committee of the International Bar Association in Toronto. Correspondent Celestina Area tells us more about it.
Among the awardees is a 66-year-old Egyptian human rights lawyer, Huda Abdelmoneni, who is currently in prison in Egypt amid a broader crackdown on human rights defenders and lawyers in the country. She is the winner of the IBA Award for Outstanding Contribution by Legal Practitioner to Human Rights. Abdelmoneni was honored for her record in defending freedom, championing women's and children's rights, and advocating against enforced disappearances. Also recognized is Singaporean corporate lawyer Alfred Salvam, who received the IBA Pro Bono Award for her efforts to improve access to justice. And give it your all. Nigerian lawyer Oluwafunke Adeoye received the IBA Outstanding Young Lawyer Award for her legal brilliance and passion for justice.
These awards, the Human Rights Award, the Pro Bono, and the Young Lawyers Awards, is a very important part of the IBA, as I was saying. And I'm really, really happy that we are able to do this and give this to lawyers and young lawyers who really deserve it.
There is a lot of work that still needs to be done in our correctional system, particularly actually through our justice system, from the point of entry, which is the law enforcement or police. We already have policies, we already have good legislations that would help address some of the challenges in our criminal justice system.
So the reason behind the Young Lawyer Award is to encourage young lawyers to be selfless, the criteria is young lawyers who have gone over and above the normal call of duty and have done things that enhance the role of the legal profession in society.
Hope Beyond Bars Africa is an organization founded by Oluwafunke Adeoye. The Nigerian-based human rights organization works to close the justice and inequality gap through legal aid, technology, support for incarcerated individuals, and evidence-based advocacy. It also employs a social enterprise model to provide access to justice for indigent pre-trial detainees, with over 7,500 justice-involved individuals benefiting from its interventions. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Toronto.
And in some foreign news, a typhoon Winhomes has made landfall in the Philippines, where more than 900,000 people have been evacuated and 2 people have died so far. The storm was upgraded to super typhoon before landfall, with sustained winds of around 185 kilometers per hour and gusts of 230 kilometers per hour. The eye of the storm hit Aurora province in Luzon, that's the Philippines' most populous island, at 21:10 local time. The country's meteorological service warned of destructive winds and high risk of life-threatening and damaging storm surge as the typhoon moves northwesterly across Luzon. Winhomes, known locally as Owan, comes days after an earlier storm, Kalmagi, left devastation and nearly 200 people died in that instance. All right, let's delve into our special story tonight. The act of stripping girls of clothing has continued to surface in Nigeria. It has become easier for people to share such videos at random on social media, thereby further shaming the violated persons. In this report, senior correspondent Ivy Kano takes a look at the options available to the victims. We'd like to warn that the visuals contain scenes of violence and viewers' discretion is advised.
Nigerians woke up to a disturbing video on a Nollywood movie production set. In the video, a young man can be seen beating up a young lady.
I will suffocate you. Are you mad?
At the end of that fracas, she can be seen with her shirt torn. This has again brought to the fore the constant violation of rights of mostly females in Nigeria. At the slightest provocation, girls, women are stripped of their clothing. Still fresh in our memories is the case of a youth copper, Jennifer Olobo, on July 23, 2025, who was stripped naked by operatives of the Agone Chamber security group in Anambra. Not forgetting also the Ibom Air viral video involving a passenger, Comfort Emerson, on August 10th, 2025. In time past, so many of these have been happening without pictorial evidence, but the advent of social media has made it more pronounced as people get to film and post, not minding the impact. While most of our respondents condemned the act, one feels that some of the victims deserved such treatment.
That is not the best solution. It's not the best solution. When something happens, they can, law enforcement agents can do the needful, not by open harassment or intimidation by naked. They can call them to order or take the police to lodge a criminal complaint. So naked them openly is not to law. Legally, morally, it's wrong.
Inhuman. It's not human to me, because I feel we should treat our fellow human with respect. And come to think of it, that kind of heart on a woman is not ideal at all. It's dehumaning. I really detest it, and I'm against it.
I think such attitude is very, very wrong, because I wouldn't believe a normal human being would strip women naked, so it's uncalled for.
Honestly, I was highly embarrassed and ashamed. Why would a country allow things like that to be happening? But then, at the same time, you don't blame people. People are not really themselves because of the hunger, and the economic situation in the country, But then, we should talk to each other about it. I believe all these things are out of frustration. It's not as if nobody will want to be stripped naked. So we won't do it to somebody. But, frustration, anger.
You that did not want to be humiliated, there are ways you carry yourself. You that want to be humiliated, because one thing that this man, if anything happen, he can tear my clothes, he can undress me, he can do everything. So I move away from such a scenario. But somebody say, no, before you say one, don't say that club is in. Who is this? Before you know it, the ladies deserve their own pride. I agree. They need to be treated as a lady. The Bible calls them weaker vessel. If they are weaker vessel, but how do they carry themselves? Do they know they are weak? Do they really know they are weak? They say, oh, I'm a weaker vessel. They carry me like an egg. Are you in a crate? You got an egg and you are rolling on the floor. You want to carry. I play like a football. So my submission is that how much respect do you give yourself? It is respect you give yourself that you earn from the society. If you turn yourself to a toilet roll, they would use to clean hand and throw you anywhere.
But a safeguarding practitioner, Nola Solomon, says nobody deserves such treatment. She stressed that in no circumstance should a victim blame themselves for the action of others.
It's difficult because once you go through that public shame, how people take it depends on the individual. I've had situations where, due to shame, a woman has taken her own life, or their marriages break, or things just go wrong. Seek help. It's not your fault. Accept that it's not your fault. No matter what you've done, regardless of what the issue is, nobody has the right to strip you. Nobody has the right to take your dignity. Nobody has the right to take your privacy. So my opinion is, first of all, report it to the police. Go to the police and log it as a crime. I know there's distrust when it comes to justice system, but I've seen the police work. Somebody may take it and say, this shouldn't have happened. An arrest will be made. Seek psychological help. If you have people to talk to, family members, professionals that can help you deal with that emotion, do all that, and always remember that it's not your fault. You haven't done anything that should warrant anybody stripping you of your privacy and your dignity, especially in public.
Some who spoke off camera are of the opinion that if such perpetrators are not identified and punished, this disrespect for human dignity will continue. Now from here, we'll speak to a lawyer to find out legal options available to such victims. What does the law say about such public humiliation, and are there legal consequences for these actions? Barrister Femi Aino addresses this.
People need to respect one thing. We have a constitution in this country. And what is the essence of the constitution? Is to regulate the relationship between me and you, and between us and the state. And that constitution gives certain rights. Part of the right is that you must not subject fellow human beings to inhuman and degrading treatment. If I'm the lawyer for the lady, I will take a robust legal action against the organization, because in law there is something they call vicarious liability. Take for instance, if you are going to Ikeja under bridge and the police officer stop you and your rights get violated, you are not going to sue that police officer as an individual. You are going to sue the Nigerian police force because they are vicariously liable for his action. And the essence is that the question you need to ask is this: did that police officer carry out the act in the course of his duty? Now, those vigilantes in Anambra we are talking about, it was during the course of their duty. Look, if it's a misdemeanor, it's less than 3 years. If it is something above that, it's quite unlimited. But you see, for every offense, there is a law. For every law, there is a punishment within the law. So it will depend on the circumstances.
Beyond this report, there's a need for continuity of care, emotional support, and a strong referral system for these victims. However, since they say that the internet never forgets, so also do the victims, who get to live with the stigma for the rest of their lives. Ivy Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
Let's bring you another special story. Have you ever tried to imagine what life would be like if you couldn't see, not just for a few minutes, but for over 10 whole years? That's the reality for John Paul and Mary, a couple who have lived in total darkness for more than a decade. Yet in that darkness, they have found light, raising a child and building a life together against all odds. Our correspondent, Helen Osamede Akins, spends time with the family and brings us their inspiring story of love, resilience, as well as courage.
You are beginning, you are the ending. You are beginning, you are the ending. Bawanda Kamarsa, Bawanda Kamarsa.
38-year-old John Paul was just a little boy when his world went dark. Measles took his sight, but not his spirit. Determined not to let blindness define him, John enrolled in a school for the blind, learned new skills, and built a new life through courage and resilience. And then came Janet, his wife, his partner, and like him, visually impaired. Together they have built a world guided not by sight, but by sound, touch, and memory. Curious about how they navigate their everyday life, we took a trip to Kuje, one of Abuja's area councils.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Welcoming us with warm smiles, John and Janet led our crew into their mother's home. Every step carefully measured, every memory graceful in its precision. Once settled, the couple opened up about their journey, the struggle, the strength, and the love that lights up their world, even in darkness.
It was when I was a baby. When I grew up, my mom told me it was a measles. That is one of those illnesses that does affect babies, and they did not realize it on time, and from there the thing started overflowing, and although they make an attempt to see that they clear it up with some herbal nature, so but all to no avail, still was just keep on radiating from left to right and all of that. So I agree with it. It's like my parents were somehow tired with it, so they have to they give up, and they couldn't further any more treatment. The state of the eyes right now, actually I can sight little with it, and actually it's like I said, but that of the right eye is no more, because during the course of the operation, the right eye, according to the doctor, has been damaged, and they cannot do anything about it. So what they do was to discharge the eyes and leave it like that completely.
Around 2014, something entered my eye while I was sleeping. So I started feeling pain on the side, on the eye, and with it I'll go and be buying some eye drop from all these chemists to apply, and I don't know that those ones is not even the best for me to use. A prophet for them to pray and see. So they told her it's something attack. So they said I should did some prayer. So me, I was like, she took me back to Kano Hospital, one of the hospitals in Kano. So she took me there. That they did not bring me to the hospital on time. The site has already been damaged, and the right site has already affected the second site.
Through Braille, assistive technology and sheer determination, John and Janet have built a life that many would call extraordinary. What began as simple friendship soon blossomed into something deeper, love. In December 2023, surrounded by family and friends, they said "I do," sealing their bond in a beautiful ceremony filled with joy and hope. A year later, their joy doubled. They welcomed their baby boy, Dominion John Paul. But then came a new question: how do you care for a child you can't see? For John and Janet, it was just another challenge to embrace. With touch as their guide, routine as their structure, and intuition as their compass, they learned the art of parenting, one heartbeat, one gentle moment at a time.
When I touch the baby, I know this is the part of the baby. Like when I touch the head, I know this is head. When I touch the eye, I know this is eye. And he has what they call in the front of the head then. He has oka in the front of the head then. So if I want to bathe him, there is mostly the head. I'll just bend the head to wash the head so that the water will not enter the hole. When they were dressing him then, I will be the one to go and select clothes for them, because if they dress him, I will not like the way they dressed him. So I will be the one to go and pick the clothes so that they will wear him and dress him well. Like my husband can't even identify clothes like the way I do. When they bought the clothes, I will ask, what color is this one? What color is this one? So after they tell me, so I've already know this is the color and this is the color, this is how it will match.
Finding a job wasn't easy for John Paul. After losing his sight, doors that once seemed to open quickly began to close. But instead of giving up, John chose to use his greatest gift, his voice.
I'm into music. I do music. I have this inspiration in music, and I joined choir from my local church where I was 10 before I moved into Kuje. So I now have that passion to sing. From there, I have music which a song that I just composed. So from there, I do, like when there is concert, maybe in any gathering or maybe the church having a program, I do go around there just to create this awareness and also to let them know that at least I have something in mind, or there is this ability in disability. So at I said there are those who are interested, at times those who are invited to the program, they do invite me to their own church. So from there I get appreciated after administration, and that is how from there, and some spiritual people ask me some questions, and from there I get to help myself in school and so on. I search to the lily, the deep and the universe. I start to the sea, the lily and the valley. Bawanda Kamarsa, Bawanda Kamarsa.
Music became not just as a passion, but his livelihood, a way to inspire, to learn, and to live with purpose. For Paul, Janet, and little Dominion, life may not be without challenges, but their story proves that love, courage, and determination shine brighter than sight itself. A reminder, too, of the urgent need for better eye care services to prevent others from walking the same difficult paths. Their neighbor Gertrude Inka says she never stopped being amazed by how effortlessly the couple go about their lives, calling them a true power couple.
And initially, I didn't know that Mommy Ope was not seen because the way she dressed, she can dress, and husband would dress her. So it was only her husband I knew that he's not seen. I don't know that she can't even see at all. Because if they are stepping now, she will owe her, he will owe her. They play as if two people, even sometimes if I will just be looking at them through the window that these people that did not have eye are even playing love than me that have for I say, okay. When I'm calling Mommy Ope, she can hear me, she know my voice. Even when I'm passing, it feels that I'm the one passing. Even without even greeting her, she will know that I'm around.
John's younger brother, Ujima, has known his brother's blindness all his life, but what he sees most is his kindness and strength.
When they first say they want to marry, we're asking what's the status of her. They say she's blind and so on. Our people were just deliberating that maybe this marriage won't work, this marriage won't work, this, that. But thank God, they got married.
Days later, my curiosity led me to an optometrist to understand how just dangerous traditional eye medicine can be and why many still use it.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, welcome.
I met Dr. Njezi Chinedu, chairman of the Nigerian Optometrics Association FCT chapter.
Measles can actually lead to corneal scarring due to the virus that causes it, and that in turn leads to blindness. And for things entering the eye, most times it's actually not the item that enters the eye, but the actions the person takes immediately that happens. And that's where we talk about traditional eye medications, which are things, practices, or substances that we use naturally to feel to alleviate our symptoms. And when it comes to the eye, you see people putting things like plant sap, urine, alcohol, battery acid, cassava water, and a lot of things. So it's important to know that the outer part of the eye, which is called the cornea, is responsible for about 65 to 75% of a person's vision. And these things we apply to the eye actually go and rest on the cornea, which is meant to be a transparent surface. Now, when these things make the cornea opaque, that results to partial or total blindness.
He explained how cultural beliefs, high medical costs, and limited access to healthcare push many to rely on unsafe traditional remedies, often devastating results. A study from the University of Benin Teaching Hospital reveals that 54.9% of patients presenting with eye issues had used plant-based traditional medicine, and more than half of them developed serious complications. Some even lost their eyes completely.
David.
Life has not been easy financially for John and Janet, but they have built a world full of warmth and love, proving that happiness isn't about what you see, but what you feel.
During my pregnancy, things are not easy because, in short, there was a time, there will be some time, maybe I'll be hungry, there will be no food, I'll even drink curry. Also, house rent. Mostly times of house rent, it is not easy for us. And we are also looking for a way to get our own house.
Standing here in Kuje, it is hard not to be inspired by Paul and Janet's journey. Though robbed of their sight, they continue to see possibilities where others might see obstacles, reminding us that resilience can turn darkness into light. For this remarkable family, contentment is their compass and hope is their direction as they look forward to a brighter tomorrow. Helen Osamede Kings, TVC News, Abuja.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Truly an inspiring story, and hopefully people who find themselves in a similar situation can find solace in that story. That's all we have for you tonight. Many thanks for staying with us. We'll see you again tomorrow. From the entire production crew, it's good night.